Okay. Turn me up a little bit.
Thank everybody for coming by and checking out the meat stall once again. Well, today we got a special treat. We got some tomahawk ribeyes. These are the tomahawks I did for Valentine's Day. My wife, she's not a big candy person, but she does love steak as well as I. So I went down to the butcher shop and picked up these two massive tomahawk ribeyes. The butcher shop that I went to was Liberty Meat Shop here in San Diego. I'll place a link in the description box. I'm not sure if they will ship meat, but I think it could be possible. Here, what I'm doing right now, I'm just trimming the fat, the hard fat from these ribeyes right here. It's just a little bit to make it a better presentation and also a better cook. That was a hard fat right there. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about these tomahawks. It's the first time that I had to grill these tomahawks, and they came out perfect. They was a little pricey. It's about $20 a pound, but hey, it's not nothing that we eat every day, and it was well worth it. Let's talk a little bit about this tomahawk steak. You know, where does the tomahawk steak come from? Well, the tomahawk steak, it comes from the rib steak or the forerib on the animal. Oftentimes, it is French trimmed, the bone, which leaves an outstanding presentation and also an outstanding conversation piece. It has a lot of internal fat, which adds to the flavor. And also, they say that the meat is sweeter next to the bone. And I can attest to that. What I'm using today to just season this with is olive oil and salt and pepper. I have this 50-50 shaker of salt and pepper, coarse ground pepper, and coarse kosher salt. I measure out equal amounts, put it in a little shaker, and I love to use that as a pre-rub. But on beef, I pretty much use it all the time. There you go. I use it as a pre-rub, and then if I'm going to go on with another rub, I'll make sure it doesn't have a lot of salt in it. Give this thing a good shake. And I'm going to go on pretty liberally because I want to be a nice crust. And I'm not worried about these big tomahawks. I think they're about 2 inches, maybe a little bit more thick a piece, so they can handle a lot of salt. Just pat that in. We'll do the same for the next. Make sure you get it covered all the way down. I noticed that my tomahawks are at the very bone end or the rib end. They weren't Frenched all the way. It had a little bit of meat on it. I was concerned at first that those was going to burn and cook, but they came out good. It wasn't quite a medium rare. I'd say it was more of a medium to a medium well, but it was still a good flavorful piece of meat right there. Let's get these edges because I want to get everything covered on this steak. Okay, I'm out here at my charbroil offset. What I'm going to do is I'm going to oil the grates so we don't have any stickage of the ribs. Not the ribs, I'm sorry, the steak. I got my smoker running probably like about 275. 280, and the reason being is I want to bring these steaks up slow. I could have went ahead and had it going at about 350, but I chose not to. I used the snake method, so to give me a controlled burn. And I just sprinkled mesquite wood chips throughout so I can have smoke throughout the cook. I put them on offset. Got my meat thermometer, and I put it into the one in the back nearest the stack. And I got my probe set for 135. You guys can't see it because I'm outside in the backyard. But I set it for 135 and I put it down. And we just let her cook and smoke. Here is a picture of them after they were up to about 130 internal temp. I wanted to go about 5 degrees below where I wanted it at, so when I sear it off, it'll be perfect. But they're looking outstanding. I'll put me another thing of fresh charcoals on the hot side, and I open up all my vents on my smoker, and I got a screaming hot. And then I went on with the ribeyes, and that sound, that sear was outstanding. It was almost a task picking those bad boys up, putting them over there. And I went about a minute to a minute and a half on each side. Here's a close-up look of how they're looking. You know, I love it when that flame just licks the meat. Perfect. Now they're in the house. I brought them in. After they were seared, I let them rest for about 20 minutes. And now let me deconstruct this ribeye. That meat right there was outstanding. I took it and I cut it into little cubes. That was nice, flavorful. Like I said, it was almost like a medium well, but it was beautiful. So what you do is just slice right along the bone, and she slices off like butter. You turn it against the grain, and then you just slice her up. It was perfect. Medium. I think next time that I probably would take it off at about 125 before I seared, but I still have no complaints. It was tasty, tenderful, juicy. I loved it. And those some pretty healthy pieces too that I was cutting. And after I cut them like this, I just went on with just a sprinkle of kosher salt. Because to me, simplicity with beef is the best. And nothing brings out that beefy flavor than just your regular old kosher salt. Just a small sprinkle. And there she is right there. Outstanding steaks. Here I go at the Liberty Butcher. When I first got them, brought them home, let them come up to room temp. Here's the other one that I bought that I didn't cook for Valentine's Day because I finally realized that was just too much meat. Off the smoker here, cut up, it's time to eat.
Okay. Turn me up a little bit.